I want to ask you something. Think about the last course that you bought or the last community that you joined, and think about that feeling. You know, the one somewhere around module 3, or maybe it was day 4 when you realized no one actually made this. It was generated, it was assembled, it was pumped out by someone who had a prompt and a stand store and zero intention of actually helping you. That feeling has a name. It's called AI slop, and today we are going to get into it. If we haven't met yet, hello, I am Jess. I am the founder of the Misfit Millionaire Method. That is a community for heart-led entrepreneurs who are done with the fake guru playbooks and are ready to build something that is actually theirs. Now, this channel is the real talk, right? This is the real talk that the online business community, the online business world, if you will, refuses to have. And if that is what you're looking for, then I invite you to hit subscribe because we are just getting started. All right, let's go. So what is AI slop actually? So it's digital content. So think blogs, videos, online course modules, community posts produced by AI tools that is generic, emotionally empty, or just flat out made up. Yeah, fabricated. Totally. It looks like content, it sounds like content, but nobody's home. So the Oxford Dictionary tracked a 322% increase in the use of the word slop in 2024. Now, a developer named Stephen Wilson, he helped bring it mainstream in May of that same year. And his definition of AI slop is very simple. Slop is unwanted AI generated content. Unwanted, not just bad, unwanted content that nobody asked for, that nobody benefits from, that exists purely to fill space and extract money. Oh, you want a real world example? Okay, in 2023, a Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow sold tickets to families with stunning AI generated marketing images. Beautiful, fantastical, magical looking stuff. They showed up and found a sparse warehouse. Yep, a few sad decorations, a few actors with AI generated scripts that made no sense. Yeah, children cried. Families, parents demanded refunds. The AI had built this magical experience, but there was actually nothing behind it. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's because that's exactly what happened when you bought that course with the beautiful sales page and the professional looking modules. And when you got inside, you found nothing. That is an AI slop business model. And I need you to hear this. You were not failing. You were failed. So let's talk about why AI slop doesn't actually make any money, because I think people get confused here. They think if it looks professional, it should work. Well, the content doesn't convert because it looks good. The content converts because it feels real. Those are not the same thing. So the reasons that AI slop fails are that, well, there's 3 main ones. And the first one is that there is no actual lived experience behind it. AI does not run a business. It doesn't have a client who ghosts right before the launch. It doesn't have a product that flopped or a morning where it wanted to quit and burn their entire business down, but then they didn't. It has read about all of that, but reading about something and having done it are not the same thing. And if you are doing some of these things, your audience can feel it. They know within 90 seconds of a video, within 2 paragraphs of a blog post, they know. Now, the second reason that AI slop fails is because it sounds like everybody else. Oh my goodness, AI is trained on patterns. So when everyone is using the same tool, hey, you ChatGPT, they're using it the same way. Everything just converges. Same hooks, same structures, same phrases, same words. You end up with an entire industry of content that sounds literally like it could come from anyone. And it sounds like it all came from one. And that's because it effectively kind of did. You can't build a brand by sounding like everyone else. That's not a strategy. That's camouflage. And the third reason, the big reason that AI slop fails is that AI strips out the emotional signal. So people don't buy because they get information. They buy because they feel seen. they feel understood, they feel recognized, right? So AI can produce very clean sentences, very logical structure, zero emotional weight. It does not know what your audience is afraid of. It does not know what your audience is fearful of because they've tried it before and they failed. It does not know what it feels like to be them, but you do. And that's the whole thing. That's the entire advantage that you as a person, as a human being has that AI does not. So before the comments explode, because if you've made it this far, you probably feel like I hate AI, and that could not be further from the truth. No, not all AI content is slop, okay? I use AI every single day. The issue is never the tool. The issue is the way that people are using the tool. So slop equals using AI to replace thinking. Not slop equals using AI to extend thinking. So if you have a real idea, your actual take, your actual experience, something that you actually believe, and then you use AI to structure it, to sharpen it, to expand it, and then you rewrite it. You rewrite it in your own voice. That's not slop. That is leverage. That is smart business. But if you open ChatGPT and you type in a prompt and then copy that output and post it as if it was your own, you just slopped. You just slopped all over the place. Slop does not build trust. The only thing that builds trust is the real actual conversations, the real actual words, the real actual thoughts and emotions that make you you. And that is what your audience is going to connect with. Now, I'm sure this is not the only AI slop video that you've ever watched, but I also think that maybe this is the only time that you're going to hear this take on AI slop. Because I think that this AI slop epidemic is one of the best things that can ever happen to honest creators right now in 2026. So as more people flood the internet with this synthetic garbage, this, generic and hollow, the baseline for trust has never ever been lower, which means that when you show up real, when you show up with your flaws and your missteps and your ums and your ahs, you stand out. You stand out way faster than ever before, and you have way less competition than you think. So YouTube has publicly committed to reducing AI slop on the platform as a priority. Google is also actively deprioritizing content without any human value, without any original value. The algorithms, those are catching up. And something even deeper is happening here because researchers have been documenting something called model collapse. And this is because the AI systems are training on their own AI generated output, right? So as it's learning from itself, which means that the quality is degrading over time. The AI slop era has a built-in self-destruct button, basically. So here's the more human version of all of this, okay? The burned before entrepreneur that you are, right? That the person that's tried everything and has found nothing but hollow courses and AI generated communities, and they're just over it, right? They are the most finely tuned slop detectors in the market right now. They know within 90 seconds if something is real or if something is slop. And when they find something real, they stay, they buy, and then they send everyone that they know. And that person is who you're building for. That person is your target audience, right? And you are exactly what they've been looking for. So if you are a heart-led entrepreneur, if you are an honest creator, and if this is resonating with you, here is the practical stuff, because just be authentic is not a strategy, and I refuse to tell you that. You came here to learn, so you're about to learn. Start with your thoughts before you touch any tool. This is your content creation helper here. So actually write down what it is. What's your real take on a topic? What have you experienced that, most people haven't, or most people don't say out loud? Write that down. That is your content. Everything else is just kind of the scaffolding. The second thing is that you need to add a layer that AI can't replicate. So every piece of content needs at least one of these. You have to have a personal story with a specific detail, something that AI would not be able to generate, right? And you have to have a strong opinion that actually takes a side. AI notoriously will not take a side. It will not, pick one or the other. So when you actually have an opinion, you're really real. And then I need you to also really talk about having a real result with real context. Okay. Every time. So you have to have one of those things. And that single habit will separate you from 95% of the content that we see every day. And then this is one of my personal favorites. This is the last thing I would love for you to do, is to run the who nods test. Yeah. So before you publish, I want you to ask this: is it specific enough that that exact person who I am trying to talk to, who I am trying to connect with, will they physically nod? So when they read your content or when they watch your video, would they literally physically be nodding along? Okay. Not scrolling on past, not just killing time, scrolling, wasting time, none of that, not smiling vaguely. You want your person to physically nod. She's describing my exact life. If not, you're not done yet. So, by the way, I wrote a full companion blog post that goes way deeper than this video is going to. If you want to read it, I'm going to link it below. Okay. It expands more on the research, the real examples, the full framework. That link will be in the description if you want it. So I want to say one more thing before I let you go, because I've already talked for way longer than I was planning to. AI did not ruin your content. It did not ruin your business. It did not ruin your life, okay? It exposed the fact that the strategy that you were given by the guru that you listened to was never designed for someone who actually cares about their audience, okay? Those things were created by people who just wanted to exploit your desire to make money online. But the framework was sold to people who were willing to perform. And there's a massive difference between someone who is caring, is compassionate, who actually wants to make a difference, and someone who just wants to perform for dollars. Now, you've always known that you were different. That's why nothing's ever felt right when people say to do things. It doesn't feel right. And that's why you keep starting over, because you think that a different strategy or a different framework or a different coach is going to make a difference. It's not. And it's not a character flaw either. It's just your compass. It's truly your moral compass. Your realness is not the problem. Okay. Your realness is the whole point. AI slop era is not a crisis for people like you. It is actually a calling. So these misfits are misfits. You and me, we're misfits. We're too real. We're too authentic. We're too much. We're just too much to fit into some formula. And that's a good thing. Okay. We are the ones that are going to win in this moment. We are the ones that are going to be able to walk proudly, hold our heads high, and sleep well at the end of the day. So if you are ready to build something that is actually genuinely yours, with a method and a community that takes this stuff seriously. The Misfit Millionaire Method is launching on June 1st. The waitlist link is going to be in the description of this video. And if this video resonated, if you nodded even once, then I invite you to hit subscribe, because we are just getting started. Misfits become millionaires differently. Welcome to the movement.